There's a chill in the air outside of Michael's 8th Avenue in Glen Burnie, Maryland, but inside it is sizzling because it's time for the return of Ballroom Boxing. Hi again, everybody. I'm Larry Michael. Great to be back with my partner, Jon Saraceno. You know, they say, John, variety is the spice of life, and that is how you could describe tonight's show here at Michael's.
Wow, Larry, what a card we have here tonight. A former U.S. Olympian. We have a fighter whose cousin once was heavyweight champion. And we've got a lot of surprises, so stay tuned.
We are really looking forward to this fight. Roman Martinez and Mario Lacey. Martinez, very highly touted, unbeaten.
Well, he is, and the Puerto Rican press tabbed him their top fighter in 2004. Lacey doesn't have a great record, Larry, but the guys who beat him have a combined record of 62-3. Very interesting matchup.
Could be the biggest challenge ever in the young career of Roman Martinez from Puerto Rico. Unbeaten, 9 wins, no losses. Will it stay that way?
Tough fight for him. We'll have to find out.
Well, the spotlight will surely shine bright tonight on Andre Dirrell, his pro debut against Carlos Jones. Certainly pressure on Dirrell tonight here in the ballroom.
Well, any fighter making his pro debut, a lot of pressure. He was the bronze medalist. Some people think he was actually better than the guy who won the gold medal in Greece.
Comparisons between Dirrell and Roy Jones. I mean, that's some high praise already for a young guy like Dirrell.
That's a lot of pressure. And Jones, we've seen here fight many years ago. He's had a sketchy career, came back after a 4-year layoff last year, Larry. So it's probably a good opponent for the young fighter.
Pro debut for the Olympian Andre Dirrell tonight here in the ballroom. We're really excited about this one in the ballroom. It is Chazz Witherspoon, a cousin of terrible Tim Witherspoon, going against Yul Witherspoon. 2 Witherspoons squaring off heavyweights tonight, John.
Let's hope we can keep all that straight. Witherspoon really is a fighter with a lot of talent and ability. He's yet to really prove himself in a big way. So this is an important fight for him tonight, Larry.
Student at St. Joseph's University, a former basketball player. He said, you know, boxing is in my family. I've got to try the sport.
Yeah, his background, like you said, is in basketball. But the fact that Tim, the former heavyweight champion, was involved in it, he said, let me give it a shot.
Should be exciting. Witherspoon against Witherspoon in the ballroom. It's going to be the pro debut for the former Olympian, Anthony Dirrell, against Henry Dukes. Always a lot of pressure on a guy making his professional debut, John.
And even more pressure for Dirrell because he's been out about a year with a broken hand, so you got to wonder if he doesn't have some nagging doubts about that.
Now, Dirrell and his brother, of course, teammates on the Olympic team, so sibling rivalry in the ballroom, huh?
Well, you know they're going to try to outdo each other.
So we're going to see the debut of Anthony Dirrell tonight here at Michael's 8th Avenue in the ballroom. Well, it should be a very exciting show, as always, here at Michael's. And, John, it seems like a long time since we've been here.
It has. I tell you what, it's cold outside, but it's warm in here, and the boxing action, always hot.
Great to be with you tonight. Ballroom Boxing in your house, coming up next, right here from Michael's. Welcome back to the ballroom. Royphy Solieau against Mike Dietrich. Mike Dietrich unbeaten from nearby Dundalk, Maryland. With more on this one, here's Jon Scheinman.
Larry, this would be a perfect way to start off tonight's ballroom show with a local guy with a good following, Mike Dietrich. He fights for Jake Smith out of Fells Point, Baltimore, 2-0. Good action-style fighter. Royphy Solieau bringing a little Cajun spice up from Lake Charles for this one. And he's 0-4, but he could provide a good test from a young up-and-coming fighter.
All right, there you see Mike Dietrich and Jon Saraceno. We've seen several fighters make a name for themselves here in the ballroom. Could that be the case with Dietrich tonight?
Well, young fighter, we have to wait and see. There's really no way of knowing how he's going to respond to the pressure, Larry. We're going to find out real soon.
Let's get it started with Pat O'Malley.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. The Maryland State Athletic Commission, Chairman David J. Norman, Executive Director Patrick Pinello, Ballroom Boxing Promoters Scott and Michael J. Wagner, Matchmaker Chris Middendorf, and Director of Boxing Operations Dave Wilkerson present this 4-round bout. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time now for more Ballroom Boxing. The man in charge of this 4-round bout in the heavyweight division is John Gradowski, your referee. Judging the bout at ringside, Kenny Chevalier, dependable Don Richer, Malik Waleed. Your timekeeper is Tommy Canaris, the scorekeeper, Bill Holmes. Introducing the boxers, first to my left, out of the red corner, wearing the gold trunks. He weighed in at 217 3/4 pounds. He comes to us from Lake Charles, Louisiana. His record, 0-4. Please welcome to the ballroom, Royphy Solio. To my right, out of the blue corner, wearing the black trunks. He weighed in at 208 pounds. He hails from Dundalk, Maryland. His record, 2-0, won by KO. Please welcome to the ballroom, Mike Dietrich.
Powerfully built Mike Dietrich,
Referee Jon
ready for his
Saraceno.
third professional fight. Take a look at the matchup, John.
Well, you see that Solio's coming in heavier, and for a good reason. Doesn't look in great shape. Fighter out of Louisiana, see if he can pull off the upset against the local kid, Mike Dietrich, who comes in at 208.
Last time out for Dietrich, December of last year. A TKO win in the first round over Jermaine Livingston at the Blue Horizon in Philadelphia. So this is pro fight number 3 for 21-year-old Mike Dietrich. He's got a good hometown crowd behind him here tonight in the ballroom. Jon Gradowski is the referee. This fight is scheduled for 4 rounds tonight. And we are underway. Talked to Dietrich before tonight's fight, John. He says, I really want to put on a good show for you guys on Ballroom Boxing. I've watched this show for years and years. He says, a hometown guy finally made it, in his opinion. He's on TV in the ballroom.
What a feeling that must be, to watch a show for a number of years and be able to perform on. Solio coming in very dry looking, Larry.
Got similar height guys for heavyweights.
Gotta wonder if Solio warmed up properly in the dressing room prior to this fight. And I tell you what, Dietrich really looks primed.
Real humble guy from nearby Dundalk. 2-0 as a professional, turned pro in November of last year. Fought in November, fought in December. Here we go in January. Good combination by Solio as a counter.
Both fighters testing the strength of one another on the inside.
Jon Solio is 0-4 coming into Dietrich's backyard. I can't imagine there's a whole lot of pressure on Solio right now.
No, I mean, he's in a win-win situation here. You know he would love for that O to go.
Nice jab by Dietrich there with the left hand. Body shot. Ample midsection of Solio.
And that's what you got to do when you're fighting a guy who doesn't come in tip-top shape. Take it to the body.
Solio trying to smother the punching range of Dietrich. Nice left hand right on the button, bringing Solio to a stop.
Solio is yet to throw the lead right hand against the southpaw. Textbook punch against the left-hander. See if he's going to use it.
Solio 0-4 and has been knocked out in 3 of his 4 fights. Knocked out in the 3rd round in his opener, and TKO'd in the 3rd and 4th in his last 2.
You see Solio starting to cover up, go into a bit of a defensive shell from that one body shot.
Another one by Dietrich.
Doesn't like it down there.
Another one. Landing a home with the left hand to the body. And another one. That's 4 in a row. Well, Solio angry, huh?
Solio can't wait for Dietrich to punch. He's waiting on him. He's getting hit to the body, and he's going into a shell defensively and offensively.
Oh, just a hammering body shot. And Solio takes a knee. And here it's 5 times he hit in the same place here in round 1. Can Solio get up? Got a hard time catching his breath. And he gets up before the count of 10. Shot at same place, John. He might save it.
Look at Dietrich's face. Grim determination. He's trying to finish off the Louisiana fighter.
Solio will survive round 1, taking the knee from the body shot. Welcome back to the ballroom action in round 1. You saw the body shot. You'll see the body shots of Dietrich put Solio down.
Those punches to the midsection got the intended effect very quickly. Big round.
Yeah, 10-8 round. 10-8 round for Mike Dietrich for sure. The punch stats from CompuBox. There you see Dietrich landing the higher percentage. Now Dietrich did good work to the body. Found that soft spot right there on the right rib area of Solio.
was an impressive round for Dietrich. Solio not really showing much offense or defense in that first round, and that's why he is still looking for his first win as a professional.
I mean, the body shot's obviously going to bring his hands down and expose his head. And Dietrich doing a good job just being patient.
But it looks like Solio's trying to survive right now. And he's not punching, he's not jabbing. He's just trying to move in little areas and put his gloves up, but he's a target. You got to punch to keep the other guy off.
Good body shot again by Dietrich, right to the midsection of Solio.
Solio's legs starting to wobble, or continuing to wobble, I should say. Now, when a fighter goes downstairs, he does take a little bit of a chance exposing his head when he body punches, but in this case, I don't think it's a great risk for Dietrich. I don't see Solio doing a lot of effective counter-punching in this fight.
No, Dietrich complaining about a clash of heads there. Jon Gradowski with a warning to Solio.
He complained about that at the end of the first round.
Another good body shot by Dietrich.
Dietrich's just got to stay busy. You could get lulled in with a guy like this. You're in command of the fight, throw a punch here, a punch there, watch him wince. But Dietrich's got to stay busy.
Another nice overhand right that time by Mike Dietrich. He's dominating this fight right now in round 2. You can see the side of Solio getting a little red. He's got a little redness in the forehead area as well.
Well, he's not really fighting back. I think it's obvious he's trying to survive this fight. To see Dietrich be just a little bit busier and put his punches together more than one at a time. Hook off the jab.
He's a little too patient, huh?
A little bit. With who he has in front of him, I think so. I'd like to see it be a little more explosive here.
Solio beginning to wind up a little bit and kind of throw caution to the wind. He's in such a deep hole right now after taking the knee in round 1 and getting dominated here in round 2. You might as well try to rough up Dietrich.
Solio charged in with his head there, and that's what Dietrich had been complaining about earlier in the round.
Another nice body shot by Dietrich as we've reached the midway point in this 4-round heavyweight battle. There you see Solio has been getting hammered the last 2 rounds. Taking a look at the CompuBox stats, Dietrich 27% connect rate, total punches in round 2. And just 1 of 17 for Solio. I mean, that's just miserable
that's
offense.
That's one of the lowest totals we've seen anywhere.
Ever. How long has CompuBox been in existence?
They've been around so long.
Over 20 years, for crying out loud. Canobio used to be a young guy when he started.
No.
Anyway, we're into...
We all used to be young guys, Larry.
That's true. Let's go to Jon Scheinman with the scorecard after 2 rounds. Jon?
On my unofficial scorecard, 2017, Larry. Dietrich got a 10-8 with the knockdown in the first round, and he's methodically dominating the body shots. But you know what we haven't mentioned is maybe he's a good defensive fighter. We haven't seen Dietrich a lot. He's not getting hit. Maybe he's subtly doing some things to keep Solio off of him that aren't readily apparent.
Big clash that time. Thank you, Jon. Big clash of heads that time. And Dietrich has to be careful of that. Ahead in this one for sure, midway through. Dietrich is a solid guy, Jon. Look at that body type for a heavyweight. He's not very tall, and I think that's going to work to his detriment. 5'11", and maybe 5'10", just stretching him out an inch there.
That's a good point. He is a short heavyweight, and I don't think he's anywhere near 5'11". You know, for years they said Mike Tyson was 5'11 and a half. He was closer to 5'9 and a half.
Key to Dietrich's future then is punching power, no doubt about that. Doing a good job, nice jab that time.
You don't see too many stocky, powerful left-handed heavyweights.
You're just breaking Solio down. Now he went to the jab, and that's going to open that body shot up again.
Of course, the last left-handed heavyweight champion, I believe, was Michael Moore.
Very good job.
I think.
Well, who knows nowadays with all the variety of belts you got out there, who do you consider a heavyweight champion? Oh, beautiful body shot by Dietrich again, catching Solio coming in.
I still would like to see Dietrich increase his work rate in the fight a little bit. He's breaking down his opponent nicely. But I'd like to see just a little bit more explosiveness. I think Dietrich's worried about getting hit in the head, and his opponent's getting warned.
It's another warning there for using the head to Solio. He's got the word suave tattooed across his chest. Good left hand there by Dietrich, and he's just been pummeling Solio to the body from the very beginning of this fight. Trying to catch Solio coming up with that uppercut.
Solio's been gasping through his mouthpiece for about a round and a half now.
Round 3 coming to a close. Dietrich dominating and Solio surviving here in the ballroom. All right, welcome back to the ballroom. It's time for the 4th and final round. Mike Dietrich and Royphy Solio.
This is the 4th and final round.
Who's winning after 3? Pretty clear.
Dietrich by shutout. You're right, Larry. 30-26. He's dominated from start to finish.
Again, Solio connecting on just one punch on the CompuBox stats in round 3. That's the total in round 3. Unbelievable. That's total through 3 rounds. Connected on one punch. Is that accurate? In round 3, one punch. So in round 2, one punch. And in round 3, one punch.
Well, I'm interested in seeing how Dietrich closes the show here in the 4th round.
I mean, 61 punches thrown by Dietrich in round 3. That's not a bad work rate for heavyweights, a young guy like this who's done good body work.
He should be able to stop his opponent.
Yes, I agree.
Really, he should
agree.
be able to stop this guy. He really should have stopped him sooner.
Put him down with a body shot in round 1. There's the jab. Really hasn't thrown the left hand to the head at all in this fight.
Then again, Mike Dietrich has only had 2 professional fights. So, again, going 4 rounds, you know, it's a mental thing, too.
Solio surviving somehow. Solio diving in with the head. There's the left hand. It's beginning to bother Dietrich a little bit.
Oh, he's been complaining about it all night, and I think he's got a legitimate gripe.
Well, there's that body shot again, thumping to the ribs of Solio. That one might have strayed a little low. Kind of a frustrating situation, building into frustration for Dietrich.
As Dietrich nailed Solio on the whiskers all night.
I don't know if he's had a clear shot. There's some blood now on the shoulder of Dietrich. Might be coming from the mouth of Solio. Hard to tell right now.
Even though he hasn't hit him very solidly to the noggin, there's a good jab by Dietrich. You would have thought those telling body blows would have been enough to maybe stop the Louisiana fight.
We'll see to find out if Dietrich feels he did all he could in this one. If it continues this way and they go to the judges' scorecard, no doubt Dietrich way ahead of the scorecards after that 10-8 first round. Again, the body shot, both sides of the ring. Solio is going to be hurt tomorrow, no doubt about that.
He's going to be hurt tonight.
Yeah. Give him an A for effort here. He's got some heart to stay in there.
Well, he's fighting back in this round. Of course, this is the end of the fight. He's done very little fighting throughout, so it's a good time to start.
A little late. Solio's exhausting.
I tell you what, Dietrich is also a little bit slow. He's a little fatigued. And again, that could be a mental roadblock sometimes. The guy doesn't think he's got enough in the tank.
Well, that jab hurt Solio. Did a double take. Well, somehow he's going to survive.
It looks that way, doesn't it? He's got less than 10 seconds here.
That's the end of this fight. Good performance by Mike Dietrich. And it goes to the judges' scorecards. When we return, well, here's the decision. Mike Dietrich looking to remain unbeaten. Let's see if he stays that way when we return to the ballroom. Welcome back to the ballroom. Let's take a look at some action from this 4-rounder. Mike Dietrich and Royphy Solio goes the distance. And really the body work of Dietrich paid dividends throughout the fight. In fact, he put Solio down in round 1 with the body shot. There you see it, John.
Larry, that was the whole fight, was the body work of the Maryland fighter who just had his guy, really had his way to make the whole time. The Louisiana fighter, Solio, really didn't have enough offense to keep Dietrich off. That was the show.
One-sided affair, we believe, in the ballroom. Let's make it official with Pat O'Malley.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. We go to the scorecard for the result. All 3 judges, Malik Waleed, Kenny Chevalier, and Don Risher score it 40-35. The winner by unanimous decision, Mike Dietrich.
So it's a whitewash, a shutout for Mike Dietrich, 40-35 on all of the judges' scorecards. And John, that means the 10-8 round plus winning each and every one of the other rounds. That adds up to a dominating victory for Mike Dietrich.
He pitched a shutout, no question about it, Larry.
We'll be right back with an interview with the winner. Welcome back to Ballroom Boxing. All right, John Scheinman standing by with young Mike Dietrich, the winner tonight in the Ballroom.
Mike, we were talking during the fight about how you'd watch Ballroom Boxing over the years, having, grown up around this area. How's it feel to get a win like this?
Man, it's unbelievable. I wanted a knockout, but I'm happy with a win. I've seen this on TV a lot. Couldn't wait. I knew my time would be coming. Hopefully, I can bring a championship back to Baltimore.
Now, they talk a lot in boxing about guys who are headhunters, but you were certainly a body hunter in this fight. Why was that your strategy, and did you think going in that you'd exclusively go to the body?
Nah, not at all. You really don't. You got a game plan, but you really don't know what you're going to do until you go in there and feel the guy out. You can spar with a bunch of people. That ain't the guy you're going to fight, though. I was going to his head, but you can see in the video he was covering up good, and he had a body, and I dig the body good. So I heard him moaning on the inside. I heard him every time I heard him, but some people just take a beating. That's what makes this game so good.
Headbutts throughout the fight from Solio. How much of a bother were they?
Oh, it was a pain in the ass. But, the referee did a good job trying to keep control of it, but he just kept in. He had to do it like I dig the body. He thought headbutting was going to win him the fight. But believe me, that didn't work, obviously.
Well, we're going to have to bleep that quote out, but we'll get most of it in. Let's bring your manager, Jake Smith, in. Jake, tell us about this young fighter, Mike Dietrich. What do you see in the future?
I said we're going to work him up. We're going to build him up, do the right thing by him, and you're going to see something. These kids getting better and better every time he comes in the gym. He's been in the gym now for 5 months straight, working hard, real hard. You're going to see a champion of this kid, I'm telling you.
I want to thank all my trainer, Jim Softly, Mo Wrights, Jake working with me, all my sponsors, and the Flamingo Lounge, Sports 2000, Rupert Pub.
Mike Dietrich getting the plugs in for all of them. Got the win, taking it back to Dundalk. Let's go back to ringside.
All right, very good, John. When we return, more Ballroom Boxing. A happy Mike Dietrich tonight at Michael's 8th Avenue. We'll be back in a moment. All right, welcome back to Ballroom Boxing. Larry Michael with Jon Saraceno getting set to see the former Olympian from the Athens Greece Games, Anthony Dirrell, against Henry Dukes. The pro debut for Dirrell. With more on this one, here's Jon Scheinman.
Anthony Dirrell has been fighting in the shadow of his brother, Andre Dirrell, who was the bronze medalist in the Summer Games in Athens. With his pro debut tonight, he's going to try to come out from under that shadow. His opponent is Henry Dukes from New York. Yes, he's got an 0-4 record, but I've seen this guy fight. He fought 2 times against Henry Buchanan, right prospect out of D.C., and this guy is better than the 0-4 record. He's rugged, he hits pretty well, he should provide a pretty good test.
All right, we're set for the pro debut of the former Olympian. Let's get it started as always. Pat O'Malley.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. The Maryland State Athletic Commission, Chairman David J. Norman, Executive Director Patrick Bonella, and Ballroom Boxing Promoter Scott and Michael J. Wagner, along with matchmaker Chris Middendorf, and the Director of Boxing Operations, Dave Wilkerson, present this 4-round bout. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time now for more Ballroom Boxing. This 4-round bout in the middleweight division will be refereed by Bill Holmes. The judges at ringside are Kenny Chevalier, dependable Don Risher, and Malik Wali. Your scorekeeper is John Gradowski. The timekeeper is Tommy Canaris. Introducing the boxers. First to my right, out of the blue corner, wearing the black trunks with the white trim. He weighed in at 163.5 pounds. He's from Brooklyn, New York. His record, 0-4. Please welcome to the ballroom, Henry, the Hellraiser Dukes. To my left, out of the red corner, wearing the white trunks, trimmed in orange. He weighed in at 164.75 pounds. He comes to us from Flint, Michigan to make his professional debut. He would have fought in the Olympics in Greece last summer along with his brother who did. However, he broke his hand. But now he's making his pro debut. Please welcome to the ballroom, Anthony the Dog Durrell.
Got him out with the description. Yes, he was on the U.S. Olympic team, but the broken hand sideline. Let's take a look at the matchup, John. Dukes and Dirrell.
Well, the discrepancy in height
Gentlemen,
is
you receive your
apparent.
instructions
4
in the
inches
dressing room.
listed
Protect
for
yourselves at
height
all
advantage
times.
for
Obey my commands. Touch
Henry,
him up.
the Hellraiser Dukes. Excuse me, Anthony Durrell is 6'2".
scheduled
He's
for
got the height
rounds.
advantage. And you can see the rest of the numbers there. 2 very young fighters. Durrell only 20, and Dukes 22.
They're set for this one. Scheduled for 4 rounds. Super middleweights. And
Get that water,
Jon
Coach.
Scheinman had something to say about Dukes and his competence. He has not won, however. So this is on the drawing board, a mismatch in favor of the strong amateur background of Anthony Dirrell and Henry Dukes. But you're right, John. You never know, both two young guys.
When you've had a broken hand and you're coming off an injury that's a long-standing thing,
Tommy.
and you're making your pro debut and you're on the road, you know, not easy against anybody, let alone a guy from Brooklyn.
Well, Dukes going to come in. Little fire, 2 southpaws. There's a left hand, and Dukes is hurt already. Dirrell wailing away. Well, I don't know, he knocked himself, then knocked him back
Broke
up.
his hand, Larry. Dukes is fighting with one hand, literally. Or his shoulder's out of place. Maybe it's separated.
Knocked his shoulder out.
Yep. Dislocated, baby. We're guessing, but immediately he winced. Now it looks like he popped it back in.
He's okay. The doctor coming up to ringside.
Now he's ready to roll. I've never seen that in a fight happen that quickly.
Take a look for the replay to see what happened, but Dirrell hot-shotting from a distance and Duke eating leather.
Let's see if he's actually using that left hand. Henry Dukes.
And already a one-armed fighter. We barely fought 30 seconds here in this one.
Well, he's trying to jab with it.
Step back. Take a step back.
Dirrell's going to take advantage
Listen
of
to me when
that.
I say break. Take a step back.
All rangy left-hander. He's going right at him.
Duke's about to go, and there he goes. Holmes with the count.
4, 5, 6, 7.
That left arm.
Continue. Box.
Dirrell right after him.
Fighting one-handed, Larry.
Yeah.
They should think about stopping this fight if he's only got one arm.
They're going to. Quick ending to this one. Anthony Dirrell, his pro debut. The dog barks in the ballroom tonight.
He didn't bark, he bit.
He bit him quick. And Henry Dukes falls for the 5th time without a win.
120 TKO, second round.
And the voice of Bill Holmes. Did 20 into the 1st round. The end comes quickly.
Well, what little we saw of Anthony Dirrell, you can see he is a skilled technician. A very good young prospect, only 20 years old out of Flint, Michigan. Would have been on the U.S. Olympic boxing team in Athens had he not suffered a broken hand. Instead, it was his brother who won the bronze. We'll see him tonight also.
Let's take a look back at action in round 1. This is a very short fight. Trying to find out what happened to Dukes. There he is. He's working the left hand. The shoulder seems to be okay early. Dukes landed just 4 punches, according to CompuBox. There is the moment right there. He got hit behind the shoulder, and then knocked it out of whack. You see, he grips it immediately. He had ducked the right hand of Dirrell, and Dirrell's right hand hit him right behind the shoulder.
And Dirrell did a smart thing, Larry. He didn't back off for 1 second when he had his opponent injured. It sounds cruel, but as a professional fighter, you go on until you're stopped.
Quick ending in this one. Anthony Dirrell, the winner. He is 1-0. Let's get the official time from Pat O'Malley.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. The winner in his professional debut by way of a TKO at 120 of round 1, Anthony the Dog Durrell.
So Dirrell is a winner in his pro debut here in the ballroom. He's going to go home happy to Flint, Michigan. Back with more from Michael's 8th Avenue in a moment. Maryland, right after this. right, welcome back to the Ballroom. Larry Michael with Jon Saraceno. It's time for the battle of Witherspoons. Yul Witherspoon against Chazz Witherspoon. Now here's John Scheinman to tell us who's who.
Larry, Chazz Witherspoon is the second cousin of Tim Witherspoon. Tremendous publicity blitz behind this fighter, and a lot of it has to do with that, unlike a lot of boxers, this guy is getting an academic career. He's very close to getting his degree, but he is also a pretty darn good fighter. Good enough that Shelly Finkel, manager of Mike Tyson, has signed him up, and he's really put him on the fast track. Witherspoon, U.S. Olympic alternate in the Athens game. I've seen him fight, pretty good prospect, still a little raw. He's fighting another guy named Witherspoon tonight. We're gonna have a little trouble separating them, although I imagine Chazz will be the good one.
All right, there you go. Chazz Witherspoon and Yul Witherspoon scoring off the Ballroom. I think that's the first time we've had two Witherspoons, two guys by the same name fight.
Oh, we need a 6 more. We'll have a full set.
There you go. Let's get it started with Pat O'Malley.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. The Maryland State Athletic Commission Chairman David J. Norman, Executive Director Patrick Pinello, Ballroom Boxing Promoters Scott and Michael J. Wagner, Matchmaker Chris Mindendorf, and Director of Boxing Operations Dave Wilkerson present this 4-round bout. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time now for more Ballroom Boxing. This 4-round bout in the heavyweight division will be refereed by Bill Holmes. Judging the bout at ringside, John Gradowski, dependable Don Risher, and Malik Wali. Your scorekeeper will be Kenny Chevalier. The timekeeper is Tommy Canaris. Introducing the boxers. First to my right, in the blue corner, wearing the solid orange trunks. He weighed in at 260 pounds. He comes to us from Lake Charles, Louisiana. His professional record is 1-0, and he was a 2-time United States Marine Corps champion. Please welcome to the Ballroom, Yul Witherspoon. To my left, out of the red corner, wearing the black and gold trunks. He weighed in at 222 pounds. He comes to us from the city of brotherly love, home of the Super Bowl-bound Eagles. From Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, his record 1-0. It was by a KO. Please welcome to the Ballroom, Chazz Witherspoon. They are not related.
Taking over the matchup, here's Jon Saraceno.
You receive your instructions
Well,
in the
you can
dressing
see
room.
that
Protect yourselves at
Mr.
all times.
Witherspoon, that would be Yul,
Touch him up.
comes in at a stout 260 pounds.
We have a scheduled
40
4-round.
advantage over Chazz, no relation, age 23.
Chazz is in great shape. Yul Witherspoon, former Marine, as you heard Pat O'Malley says, you know he's tough. Let's see if he's tough enough tonight against Chazz Witherspoon.
I like Chazz's beard. He's going to be on my team anytime.
You got a Saraceno-like beard, dude, except it's not black. As opposed to yours, which has speckles.
Salt and pepper, they call it in the business.
This is a good matchup for Chazz Witherspoon, just a young guy, 23 years old, going against a tough guy. And Yul Witherspoon, a heavy guy, 260 pounds. And it doesn't look like it's going to be very pretty, does it?
Yul trying to weather the storm, and I believe at one time he served during Desert Storm as a Marine.
Chazz Witherspoon goes to school at St. Joe's, Hawk Hill up in Philadelphia.
And I believe he went on an academic scholarship.
Academic scholarship, yes indeed.
You know, he was a hell of a high school basketball player. I think he averaged over 20 points a game.
Originally from New Jersey. Thought he might be able to play in Europe. 6'4" guard. But of course, Witherspoon, Terrible Tim, his second cousin, was a former heavyweight champion of the world.
And a very good fighter, particularly when he was motivated and young and hungry coming up.
Two-time heavyweight champion, in fact.
Towards the end, he had a body more like Yul, though. Not quite that rotund, but
Chazz 26-6 as an amateur.
well, you see Yul trying to maul Chazz.
Nice right hand that time by Chazz, scores, and that hurt Yul. Backing him up a little bit, the body shot beginning to hurt.
Chazz should throw more of those body shots against the sloppy, overweight Ewell.
An overhand right scoring as well. There's a jab by Chazz Witherspoon. Beginning to connect here in round one.
Chazz Witherspoon has like a sleepy-eyed, a very weird sleepy-eyed kind of countenance to him.
Body attack, you can feel it here at ringside.
And he's trying to put Ewell to sleep right now. If he could just get a little more punching room to get off that right hand. He's nailing him with the jabs, following with the right hand, and occasionally going downstairs. You see Ewell trying to smother Chazz's punches on the inside by leaning on him and grabbing and holding. But the hand speed of Chazz Witherspoon, Larry, I don't think Ewell can deal with.
Naseem Rahman in the house, the former world heavyweight champion. One of the very favorite people in the ballroom.
He is a crowd pleaser.
Oh, that crunching right hand scoring, and Ewell Witherspoon in a little bit of trouble. Beginning to list a little bit. Oh, the left hand scores. Chazz Witherspoon really putting his punches together well here as this round wears on. Ewell Witherspoon still clear-eyed though. And round one is coming to a close. It's the battle of Witherspoons in the ballroom tonight. Back with round two. Welcome back to the ballroom action from round one. Chazz Witherspoon really showing early dominance in this one.
Well, there he just ate him up with a jab, the left hand, and set up those nice crisp right hands on the inside. Likes to go to the body a little bit more, but really a dominant round for Chazz Witherspoon.
And huge punch stat numbers for Chazz Witherspoon. 99 punches thrown. Now the average for heavyweights, 48 per round. He connected with more than the average thrown by a heavyweight, a 51% connect percentage. Chazz Witherspoon, good work in round one.
Good work. That's incredible output.
That's a guy, I mean, he's a student in the classroom, also a student in the gym.
Stop. Hold him down. First time.
And obviously he's got support of Shelly Finkel. That's a clubbing right hand, and that has hurt Ewell Witherspoon. And he's about to go down. One more punch, and I say he goes. Somehow trying to regroup and hold on. Big right hand again. Chazz Witherspoon looking for some punching range to end it. Another right hand and a body shot. He's going to go down in a heat.
Well, I hear a bell. I don't know why. It's an erroneous bell. But I tell you what, it's about time to stick a fork in Ewell Witherspoon. He's about done. He is gassed in his corner.
The fight continues. Let's see if he can survive after being thrown down in a heat. Witherspoon just trying to tee up that one last right hand.
He should really go to the body.
A lot of blood, big left hand. Ewell Witherspoon really taking some punishment here in the second round. Left hand, he's out on his feet. And Bill Holmes does the right thing and steps in. That's a good stoppage by Bill Holmes. The end comes early in round two as Chazz Witherspoon runs his record to 2-0.
And he ran his opponent right out of the ring there in Glen Burnie.
Man, that's an impressive performance by Chazz Witherspoon. There you see him.
126.
Well, it would be more impressive if Ewell Witherspoon had been in shape.
Right. But you know, John, for a guy his age.
And also, Ewell Witherspoon is 37. So again, you got a younger fighter on the way up, Chazz Witherspoon. You got an older, out-of-shape fighter. Here he goes. At some point here in this replay, literally on the way down, all the way to Louisiana.
126.
He was outclassed, no doubt about it, Ewell Witherspoon and Chazz Witherspoon. And he did his best. He tried to hold on, but he was catching flying leather.
Well, the output of Chazz Witherspoon, that punch total in the first round, just incredible. And he even turned it up in the second round. And there's no way Ewell Witherspoon could have withstood that kind of barrage of power. And there you see the final punch as Bill Holmes moves in and stops the fight.
All right, Pat O'Malley is ready with the official time of this knockout as we take a look again at the pummeling of Ewell Witherspoon by Chazz Witherspoon. Chazz gets the win by TKO. Let's go to Pat O'Malley with the official word.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. The winner by TKO at 126 of round two Chazz Witherspoon.
Chazz Witherspoon, the winner. Victorious, he is 2-0. An impressive victory here in the ballroom. More ballroom boxing action coming your way in a moment. Well, the Battle of Witherspoons was won by Chazz Witherspoon. As expected, he was the favorite, and he does it in impressive fashion. The winner, Chazz Witherspoon, is standing by with Jon Scheinman.
Okay.
Well, Chazz, did you do any research into the family tree to make sure Yul Witherspoon wasn't a relative?
Well, we did a little talking before the weigh-in, and I found out we weren't related, so that was good. That was a good thing. I wouldn't want to fight a cousin.
You might have to go deep, and maybe were, though. Last time I saw you, you fought down in D.C. Convention Center, now here. What does this kind of fight do for you early on in your career?
Well, this is good. It was, I got to get my feet wet today. My first fight ended so fast, I really didn't get a chance to get acclimated to the ring like I wanted to be as far as being a pro, but this allowed me to really get my feet wet today, and now I'm a certified pro now, so.
Punchstat had you for 99 punches in the first round. That's what lightweights throw. Tell us about the work rate.
Well, I have a high punch output, and I plan on continuing that and building upon it if I can. I train hard, and I just want my training to show forth in the ring, so that's how I train.
There's been a big publicity blitz behind your young career related to Tim Witherspoon, collegiate, collegiate scholar, basketball player, the whole works behind you. Does that put extra pressure on you so early on to have such a spotlight around you?
Well, I hold myself to high standards, so I really don't get into all that, all the hype. I don't get into all that. I'm just Chazz, plain old Chazz. You know, the guy who used to deliver pizzas about 2 years ago. So I don't get caught up in the hype. And I will say the Hawk will never die. And a shout out to the Eagles.
Got it. Eagles, okay. Well, Yul Witherspoon found a relative that maybe he didn't get along with here, maybe not a relative. Chazz Witherspoon on the way up in the heavyweight division. Let's go back to ringside.
All right, for you who don't know, the Hawk will never die. Obviously, the reference to St. Joe's, the Hawks, and of course, Philadelphia Eagles. He's a Philadelphia guy. Chazz Witherspoon, impressive in his second professional fight, a knockout of no relation, Yul Witherspoon. That was fun.
It was. Let's do it again.
We will. Back with more ballroom boxing right after this. Going back to ballroom boxing, this, of course, is the former world heavyweight champ, Hasim Rahman. And Rock, first of all, welcome back to the ballroom. You know, I can remember before your heavyweight championship, we used to see you here, man.
Yeah, always nice to be back here. I'm enjoying being a fan tonight. I see some real talent. I'm looking forward to watch some bigger and better shows here.
Hasim, tell us a little bit about yourself. Are you really a student of the game of boxing? Did you grow up idolizing anyone? Was it something that you always wanted to be a part of?
Actually, it wasn't something I always wanted to be a part of. I watched the Sugar Ray Leonards, the Muhammad Ali's, the Larry Holmes. But once I got into the game, I became a student of the game and went back and watched all those old-time fighters and watched the younger fighters and keep my eye on every heavyweight.
But Rock, you've been on the winning track here for quite a long time, and you are rated across the board right up top, man. And I know nothing better than being the world heavyweight champion, but you right now are in a good position.
Excellent position. You know, I started this comeback right here in Michael's 8th Avenue, and I told him I'm coming back, and it's going to be, you know, at the end of the day, it's going to be a heavyweight championship fight at the Rainbow. This whole John Ruiz fight for me was a minor setback for a major comeback, and we're ready to go.
Rock, I don't think there's anybody out there you can't beat. Do you have any kind of order of destruction ahead of yourself? Do you have any thoughts on who you want first? There's been a lot of reports on who might be on the agenda. What is your agenda?
Well, I mean, obviously, the Klitschko fight is the fight I think most people want to see. So I'll handle Klitschko first, and then I just go back and clean up. I clean up the rest of the division.
When you look at that division right now, Rock, you see a bunch of guys, and you can't take anything away from a guy that's a champion. But in our humble opinion, there's not a guy out there you can't blow out.
That's my humble opinion.
You know what? What does it make you feel like when you come in here and people see you and they cheer you and they show the respect that you have earned from these folks, especially in the Baltimore area? That must make you feel great.
Definitely. For all the sweat, blood, and miles I done ran and all the hard work I done put on my body, it definitely feels good for my hometown to feel to show me the appreciation. That's why I love it here. The ballroom boxing is going to be launching pad for so many champions that, you know, y'all just keep your eye on them today. You know, they might be fighting 4 or 6 rounds today. Next time you be watching on HBO main event, watching a 12-round championship fight, I promise you that.
You know, rock boxing a very lucrative business if you can do what you do, and that's win championships. Have you given it any thought to what happens after you hang up the gloves? Did that pass through your mind at all?
Oh, yeah, well, you know, I'm in the real estate business real heavy. I'm a realtor. So, you know, I think I'll probably just get into real estate full-time when I'm done.
Is that buying real estate?
Buying, selling.
Hey, Rock, finally.
You sell your house?
Hey, you can be my agent, man. Hey, finally, Rock, at the state of boxing, and give us your assessment. Boxing has gone through so many ups and downs. It's one of those sports, though, that can never be held down for long. What is your assessment?
I think right now it's on the rise. I think it was down, but some big fights coming up early this year. You got the Trinidad Winky Wright coming up, and you got myself and Vitaly Klitschko. I think that's just going to be the beginning of a huge year for boxing.
Well, you know, as much as you might say that Ballroom did for you in that comeback, you know, you've done a lot for the Ballroom and the folks that like boxing in this area.
We partners.
Congratulations and thanks, man. Thank you very much. Hasim Rahman here at the Ballroom. More action coming up from Michael's 8th Avenue. Don't you dare go away. Welcome back to the Ballroom. Larry Michael with Jon Saraceno, the Olympic bronze medalist, Andre Dirrell in the ring with Carlos Jones. It's the pro debut for Dirrell. With a look at this one, here's John Scheinman.
Larry, U.S. boxers used to dominate the Olympic Games, but in 2004 at Athens, only 2 U.S. fighters medaled in the ring right now. Andre Dirrell is one of them. The only man to beat him the Olympics was the person who went on to win gold. Dirrell had to settle for bronze, but that's not settling when it's this hard for the U.S. to win medals these days. Interesting thing about Andre Dirrell, his grandfather who taught him to box is Leon Lawson, a former sparring partner and bodyguard for Muhammad Ali. And when Dirrell tried to get out of the game at an underage, he said, "You persist and you fight." Now Dirrell's got a tattoo of him on his arm, making his pro debut tonight. His opponent, Carlos Jones, I don't know if you remember this, but we saw him fight in the Ballroom all the way back in 1998. He's been off for a while, his comeback bout, he didn't do too well. Now he's trying another one. In his corner, Adrian Davis, the great trainer from Mitchellville, Maryland. Let's see what kind of test he provides.
All right, Jon Saraceno, do you have anything to add to that?
Are you kidding me?
All right.
He wrapped it up for us.
Let's go to Pat O'Malley with the intro, Andre Dirrell in his pro debut.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. The Maryland State Athletic Commission Chairman David J. Norman, Executive Director Patrick Bonello, Ballroom Boxing Promoters Scott and Michael J. Wagner, and matchmaker Chris Middendorf, along with the Director of Boxing Operations Dave Wilkerson, present this 4-round bout in the light heavyweight division. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time now for more Ballroom Boxing. The referee in charge of this 4-round bout in the light heavyweight division is John Gradowski. Judging the bout at ringside, Kenny Chevalier, Bill Holmes, and dependable Don Risher. Introducing the boxers. First, to my right, out of the blue corner, wearing the solid black trunks. He weighed in at 176.5 pounds. He comes to us from the nation's capital, Washington, D.C. His record, 3-4, 2 via the KO. Please welcome to the Ballroom, Carlos, the Headbanger Jones. To my left, out of the red corner, wearing the white trunks with red trim. He weighed in at 167.25 pounds. He comes to us from Flint, Michigan. He's making his professional debut after bringing home a bronze medal from the Olympics in Greece last summer. Please welcome to the Ballroom, ladies and gentlemen, Andre the Matrix Man, Durrell.
Boy, that Pat O'Malley is good. Let's take a look at the matchup.
Okay, gentlemen, you received your instructions.
Carlos Jones.
I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted here by ringside by Scheinman. Carlos Jones, you see the weight disparity coming in a lot heavier than Andre Dirrell. Let's see if it makes a difference, Larry.
And it should be interesting, the pro debut of the bronze medalist from the Olympics. This is a first here for us at the Ballroom. This pedigree fighter that we have, Andre Durrell, this is a guy who is destined for stardom, and this is the first look as a pro.
And we've seen a lot of very good young fighters. I think we're still waiting for our first world champion, but we've seen guys
We've had
that,
a Sim Rockman in here before now.
well, I mean, no, from the grassroots level moving up
yes.
the fight, yeah.
See the southpaw stance of Durrell.
Watch his hand and foot quickness.
Well, there's a little bit of a buzz in the air for this pro debut of the Olympic bronze medalist. You can feel it. And now he switches over to the conventional stance, and John, you're shaking your head.
I'm telling you, I'm thinking, wow, would I not ever want to fight this guy anywhere?
Oh, big left hand triples it up on Jones. Lightning fast.
Even under the marquee of Queensberry rules, you wouldn't want to fight this guy.
Well, Jones has to be thinking right now, what have I gotten myself into?
I don't know, but his trunks are even blinding me, in addition to his hand speed. Those are snazzy duds.
See Andre Dirrell in the white trunks with the red trim. Carlos Jones in the black trunks. Dirrell comes from Flint, Michigan. His brother, Anthony Dirrell, also an Olympian, didn't get a chance to compete because of a broken hand. Brother Andre did, and he took home the bronze.
How many fighters do you think making their pro debut would give up 9 pounds?
Confident fighter.
Not many.
And really right now, I mean, I'm not saying that Jones is doing anything spectacularly, but I think he's causing Dirrell a little thought process to occur, you know, making him think a little bit.
Well, I don't think
scheduled for 4 rounds.
Right, I think you're right. Dirrell's not going to just wade in carelessly. He's going to see what he's got in front of him in the way of talent and whether Jones has the kind of punch to keep him at bay.
Quick hands. There you see that hand speed. And I think Jones was feeling confident, and all of a sudden he's back up tight.
The thing that would freak me out about Dirrell is how seamlessly he changes from unorthodox to orthodox. It's almost invisible.
Some guys do it for a change of pace. Like you go, oh, he goes down in the backflip. So the first time in his pro career, Andre Dirrell has hit the canvas.
It may be a while before he does again, and that was a no-no, and he's being told by the referee, let's not do that again.
Saw Jon Gradowski earlier. He said, don't kill me too much here in this one. Have we ever said anything about it? We like Jon Gradowski, don't we?
I think we've been very good to the commission.
I think we've been good.
And they usually do a very good job.
Yeah, no question about it. I said to John, you know, the only controversy is on a quick or late stoppage. The rest is pretty black and white. There's a jab by Darrell.
And he's got a quick one. I tell you what, Jones hasn't shown very much offense in his first round.
Andre Dirrell's pro debut is underway here in the Ballroom. Round 2 will be next. All right, welcome back to the Ballroom action from round 1. The pro debut of Andre Dirrell showing that quick hand speed.
And it is blinding.
Andre, round 2.
He knows how to put his punches together.
Round 2.
Very skilled fighter for only being 21 years old. 6'2", weighed in 167.25. Giving up all that weight did not make a difference in the first round, Larry. Let's look at those punch stats. Copy box.
Man, I mean, Jones, an 0 for round. You got to go back to Vinny Paz not landing a punch in his fight with Roy Jones. And the 4th round of that one for a CompuBox stat with an 0 for Jones, 0 for 8. And, you know, 44 punches attempted by Dirrell. It doesn't seem like a lot to me. The numbers don't lie, and Dirrell clearly winning that first round.
Tell you what, you got to go back to the offense of the Tampa Bay Bucks in the early 70s to see offense that.
Offense that was that offensive. Dirrell just, I don't know if he's beginning to toy with Jones a little bit, but that might not be the best tactic.
He's got as good as hand speed as I've seen in a long, long time.
Yeah, but he's got to put something together, John. He's got quick hands, but he's really not doing anything out there. What has happened in this round? I'll argue with you. Nothing has happened so far.
I'm just talking about pure athleticism and hand speed. That's all I'm talking about. I'm not talking about using it properly.
Jones misses wildly.
Because if you have the foundation to build from, you can't teach that kind of hand speed. The rest can be taught.
Doubling up on the left hand over top, and Jones covers up nicely.
He is a little bewildered, Larry. I think you were right when you said that in that first round. Jones is fighting a cat and mouse cutie game with him.
Break. Okay. Keep your head up. Don't grab him underneath. Okay,
Andre's got to learn to adjust to that style.
A little scrape on the head, on the forehead, on the right side of the forehead of Carlos Jones.
I'd like to see Andre use that jab more consistently.
Stop. Don't forearm. Box.
Durrell again from the southpaw stance, peppering the gloves of Jones, who keeps his hands held high.
And also talking to him, taunting his opponent.
That left hand did get through that time. One of the three. Jones moving forward, but not throwing punches. Playing right into the hands of Dirrell, who scores again with the left.
Well, Dirrell is high on showmanship and style. And when he learns to get the substance down better, I think he's going to be one great fighter.
A lot of blood from the nose of Carlos Jones. He's taking a beating here in round two. There's a headbutt that time by Jones, no warning.
Dirrell,
shoulder butt or whatever you want to call it.
Dirrell getting a little sloppy with his fundamentals, Larry. Throwing punches from the outside, being very wide.
Left hand finding the mark in round two for Andre Dirrell. Midway through this 4-round fight, we'll be back with more from the ballroom. Welcome back to Ballroom Boxing. Larry Michael with Jon Saraceno. Round two action. Andre Dirrell showing that hand speed once again.
He missed with that left hand, but he made him pay plenty of other times in that second round.
Round three underway, the CompuBox stats, the total in round two. Jones did connect 3 of 17, just 18%. Dirrell picks up the work rate, almost 20 more punches than he had in round one, and a 38% connect rate. John Scheinman, how do you have it scored through two?
Well, this one's pretty easy when the other guy's not landing any punches, Larry, but 2018, both round shutout. Dirrell, though, he seems to have an amateur's penchant for punching to score points, not always to punch through for power, but he's extremely aggressive, which I love in a boxer.
Now check this out. He's daring Jones to hit him, showing defensive prowess as well as quick hand speed, and the blood flowing out of the nose of Jones. Dirrell has a little showboat in him, John.
No, he's got more than a little. In fact, you know what? He's got as much natural ability, probably as much as Roy Jones did at a similar age.
Same kind of fighter with the hand speed. You wonder about the punching power, especially here now. But a young kid, the left hand scores, and he puts Jones down for his trouble. It's counted as a knockdown. I think he connected as Jones went back. He might have stepped on his foot. We'll have to check the highlight, but it is a knockdown. And you can take a look at the face of Jones. He is stunned by that knockdown. Good body shot and another good left hand.
Well, Jones's game here, boy, he is not yielding a bit.
And Dirrell, in his pro debut, it's not a cupcake, is it?
No, it's not, particularly in a pro debut. And Dirrell does have a ways to go. I mean, he's got to learn a lot of lessons in the ring, but I tell you what.
Well, what he needs to learn, he can learn. What he's got, you cannot teach.
I think I heard that earlier in the night.
Look at that hand speed. Again, scoring to the head of Carlos Jones. The Matrix Man, Andre Dirrell. At least his nickname is original. Man, look at that jab. Jones has no defense against that jab. He had an idea there to pick up the leg of Dirrell.
Step back, okay?
He just needs, he needs more poise, more seasoning. He's got to fight better guys as he's going to move up the ladder. But talent-wise, he's got all the tools. He's making a lot of mistakes like Roy Jones did too. he's very unorthodox the way he throws punches, and he can get away with a lot of those mistakes because he's so fast afoot and with his hand speed and his reflexes.
John, it's his pro debut, 21 years old, national television. He wants to put on a show, and it's the tough guy he's in there with.
I'd just like to see him be a little more consistent in what he's doing, a little less showmanship, a little more substance.
Round 3 winding down, round 4. The 4th and final round will be next here in the ballroom. All right, looking back, round 3, we'll take a look at the knockdown. Thought possibly it had been a trip or he stepped on his foot and really caught him off balance with that left hand. Not the hardest punch that Dirrell has landed in this fight, but it does put Carlos Jones down as a knockdown. And taking a look at the CompuBox stats, Durrell in round 3, 48%. Jones 8 of 20. Durrell 8 of the 14 jabs in round 3. So here you are, the 4th and final round. Quickly, John Scheinman, you would have Durrell up with a shutout, I would hope.
Absolutely. 30. I didn't give him a 10-8 round. I thought it was 30-27 that round. I didn't think it was a clean knockdown. Durrell clearly a tremendously talented fighter, but if I'm his cornerman, I work on his discipline in the ring. Let's see what's happening here.
A little impatience there by Durrell.
You can't, no, I know, but you can't grab and throw him, okay? Ready?
Well, there you go, John Gradowski.
I suppose Carlos Jones didn't know that before the fight. You can't grab and throw a fighter.
Needed to remind him. Now you wonder right here, John, what the feeling is of Durrell. Does he look for the knockout here in his pro debut?
I don't think he's going to, well, he may be looking for it. I don't think he's going to stop this guy because this guy's determined not to be stopped. And the way he's fighting.
Oh, man, that is, he gave him a knee to the butt right
see,
there.
That was, see, he's showing his youth and inexperience and his cockiness, which really, he's belittling himself by doing that.
Good call by John Gradowski. Said, don't disrespect him. And that's a good call by John.
Well, Jones is going to run into something the way he's fighting.
Well, Dirrell has his ire up for sure. Laying it all out right now. Somehow he's holding on.
Well, literally, if he weren't holding on, he would have probably been stopped already, Larry.
You good to go?
That's the only way I think he survived at this point is he's holding.
Step back.
Dirrell step back and throw an uppercut.
Down, okay?
Boy, Gradowski, the referee's really earning his money tonight.
John's getting upset.
Right corner.
Could be a point deduction here.
1 point. 1 point.
It's not going to matter. So Jones shouldn't even be upset. He's losing anyway. It's not going to matter. It's the last round of a 4-rounder.
Crowd doesn't like it. They want to see action.
Meaningless deduction.
Nice left hand that time. Dirrell catches Jones on the way in. And Jones is really earning the crowd's respect. The tools of Dirrell are quite obvious. He's got amazing skills.
Step back.
Sometimes, you know, here in the ballroom, the heart is something the folks look for.
Well, it's, I would say more so even. And I don't think they like some of the showboating tactics.
That left hand put him down.
Not a knockdown.
And John says it's not a knockdown.
This has turned into a kind of a wild affair here in the 4th and final round of the pro debut of Andre Dirrell.
Doubling up, tripling up that jab. Jones getting hammered. His face is a bloody mask.
But Dirrell really does want the stoppage, Larry.
He does. You can see a sense of urgency.
Yep.
There's that uppercut. Man, he is just throwing huge shots right now.
That was some left hook.
Man.
That's
ringing shots.
It's a Joe Louis 8-inch left hook.
We're done. We're done. Come on. Too much, man.
And he got his KO, TKO.
It's okay.
I tell you what, I got to hand it to Carlos Jones. He did not want that fight stopped.
He didn't.
He was begging the referee not to stop the fight, but you know what? He had enough punishment. Really, what's the point?
Appropriate finish to that one, I believe.
I agree. And I'll be interesting to hear Jon Scheinman's interview with Andre Dirrell after this fight. Some of the tactics he used, how he thought he fought in his pro debut. The buildup was tremendous. We had, I believe, almost 24 writers here, including USA Today's own Dan Raphael. So this was a much anticipated professional debut from a fighter with wonderful natural skills and very advanced ability for his age of 21.
They're putting that bronze medal around his neck from the Athens Games. A quick look at the CompuBox stats. Durrell, 42% through 194 punches through 3.5 rounds. Jones, 26%. Let's get the official time of the knockout from Pat O'Malley.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. The winner by TKO at 250 of round 4. It's a sweep for the Dirrell brothers. This winner, Andre, the Matrix Man, Dirrell.
Matrix Man victorious in his pro debut here in the Ballroom. We'll have more action from Michaels and Glen Burnie in a moment.
In November, I thought.
Here's a look at how this one ended as Durrell had Jones retreating. And Jon Gradowski, you can see him in the background there, eyeing the action. And he makes the right call. Jones really was not fighting back at this point. Really had no chance of winning. You see his legs beginning to go. And Andre Dirrell, I mean, really begins winging some serious shots here. And Jon Gradowski has to call a halt to the action. So the winner is Andre Dirrell, the bronze medalist, I should say, from the Athens Games. And the winner is standing by after a successful pro debut with Jon Scheinman.
Man, Andre, you look like a kid in a candy shop in your pro debut. You looked like you wanted to have it all. What was going through you?
Man, I just knew the guy was slow, and I knew if I used my speed, I could pretty much dominate anything in these early rounds. So I just kept my jab out there and was expecting me to land that left hand more than I did, and I did land it a lot. I was going for the knockout, but he's a tough guy. He takes good punches, and I give him a lot of credit.
I mean, you seem to really emphasize showmanship here. You seemed like you wanted to show the crowd a little bit of everything. Is that your style, or is that something you just wanted to do for your pro debut?
That's a little bit of both. My style, plus a little bit of being a crowd pleaser. But this is my first time in Baltimore. Baltimore is a tough crowd. I plan on working on this crowd a lot. I plan on seeing them again in the future.
Now, I think they turned on you a little bit when you gave him a little knee to the butt when he went down. I know it was just playful, but were you surprised how the fans react?
No, not at all. You know, I expect it. It's not sportsmanlike conduct, you know, and it's really not me. But the guy was talking a lot, and I don't talk back. You know, I let my hands do the talking. So I had the guy give him a little bump, you know, let him know who was the dog in there and who was the cat.
How much do you think your style is suited to the pro game, and how well do you think you'll do how early?
Give me 5 fights, and I pretty much had a program down. I'll be stuck on the basics and just getting everything together. By about 12, by my 15, maybe less than 14, 13 fight, I'll be ready to go in there for a 10-round fight.
Let's talk about your grandpa a little bit. Leon Lawson, I think he was a former sparring partner and bodyguard to Ali. That's what the story is anyway. You got his tattoo on your arm now. How much does he mean to your career?
That's my father, and that's my grandfather, and that's my coach. He was there for me all the way to the end. I got him on my back, because literally he's ridden my back my whole life.
Now, you wanted out of boxing a little bit, right?
When I was younger, most definitely. But when I got to winning tournaments and stuff, man, hey, I knew nothing can hold me down, even when I was getting robbed, just like in the Olympics. But I just stuck to it, man. And I just got a natural ability. I got a gift from God, and I'm going to try to use it well.
Andre Dirrell maybe make electrifying debut tonight in the Ballroom. Here's a face to watch for the future. Let's go back to ringside.
Jon Scheinman is on the Andre Dirrell bandwagon for sure, and why not? And hey, we heard Andre Dirrell say he'd be back, didn't we?
Let's hope so. I can't wait to see him fight again.
Me too. We'll have more from the Ballroom in a moment. All right, welcome back to the Ballroom. Larry Michael with Jon Saraceno. We have a very tough, unbeaten Roman Martinez putting that unbeaten record on the line against the veteran Mario Lacey here tonight in the Ballroom. Jon Scheinman with a look at this matchup.
Well, Larry, I'm going to go out on a little limb here and say this is going to be the fight of the night, or has the potential to be. Roman Martinez, somebody voted him Prospect of the Year in Puerto Rico. Good sign, 9-0. One of those fights he won, though, by when a point was deducted from his opponent. He hasn't fought since last July. His opponent tonight, Mario Lacey's last 5 fights, his opponent's record, 62-3. So although he's only 7-7, this guy has fought some of the top guys in his division. This is going to be a good one.
Going to find out how good Roman Martinez is against Mario Lacey, who's been in against some very tough opponents. Let's get this one officially introduced by our good friend Pat O'Malley.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. The Maryland State Athletic Commission Chairman David J. Norman, Executive Director Patrick Bonella, and State Athletic Council Commissioner, Counsel for the Commission, Bruce C. Spieser, Secretary of Maryland Department of Labor, Licensing and Regulation, Dr. James D. Fielder, Jr., the commissioners at ringside, Bill McCaffrey, Phil Feaster, and Ray Dow, Jr., along with ballroom boxing promoters Scott and Michael J. Wagner, matchmaker Chris Middendorf, Director of Boxing Operations Dave Wilkerson, and the physicians at ringside, Dr. Tom Grace, Dr. Edmund J. McDonald, Jr., and Dr. Stephen F. Manikin, the Chief Physician and Neurologist. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time now for more ballroom boxing. This 8-round bout in the junior lightweight division, and your referee in charge is Kenny Chevalier. Introducing the judges at ringside, Bill Holmes, dependable Don Risher, and Malik Waleed. Your scorekeeper is John Gradowski. The timekeeper is Tommy Canaris. Introducing the boxers, first to my left, out of the red corner, wearing the solid black trunks. He weighed in at 132 pounds. He comes to us tonight from Mobile, Alabama. His record, 7-7, 6 via the KO. Please welcome to the ballroom, Mario Lacey. To my right, out of the blue corner, wearing the red and white trunks. He weighed in at 132 pounds. He comes to us from Vega Baja, Puerto Rico. His record, 9-0-1, 6 via the knockout. Please welcome to the ballroom, Roman Rocky Martinez. With the instructions, Kenny Chevalier.
And with the matchup, Jon Saraceno.
Martinez, Lacey, you see that linear fight reach in Lacey's advantage. We feel he's a very live underdog here tonight, Larry.
I will note that off the comment that John Scheinman made in the opening, yes, the opponent's records for Mario Lacey very fine, but he has been knocked out 4 times. Most recently, his last fight out in November of '04, TKO'd in the 4th round by Carlos Diaz, who was 8-4-3. So sometimes the numbers can be deceiving. We're going to find out here how good Roman Martinez is against Mario Lacey. Lacey in the black trunks, Roman Martinez in the red trunks with the white trim.
Lacey, of course, having that big press buildup down in Puerto Rico as a hot prospect on the island, the best prospect.
Well, that's something you have to live up to, though. I mean, Puerto Rico isn't exactly a, it's not barren of great fighters. I mean,
no.
Tremendous fighters from Puerto Rico. I mean, for years and years and years. I guess Miguel Cotto right now is the #1 Puerto Rican, but you can't still discount Felix Trinidad either.
They've had a long history of great fighters and great athletes.
And from Mobile, Alabama, Mario Lacey, who was the best athlete to ever come out of Mobile, Alabama. Quickly.
Baseball player, right?
You got it.
Henry? No.
What's the last name?
Aaron?
Yes, okay. Could have been another Henry, I don't know.
That was, I mean,
and Chris
I thought he
Samuels
was from Mobile, but I wasn't
man,
sure.
Chris Samuels from Mobile,
there
Alabama.
You go, the
as
Redskin.
Well.
Don't put me on the spot like that anymore.
You deliver, though, John. That's why I do that. You came up with Henry. I thought you were going to say Armstrong.
The fighter.
Now you can see the schooled style of Martinez. Not a whole lot of wasted energy. Good defense. Ducking punches from Lacey. And there's a right hand that scores by Lacey.
This looks like a tactical fight. Both fighters feeling each other out here in the first round. Content to box in the center of the ring. That punch did not land from Lacey. Sometimes that's deceiving when you're watching at home on television. You think a punch lands, but it could fall an inch short. And depending where you're sitting as a judge ringside, on what side, it's difficult to determine if a punch landed. You look to see if the fighter's head moved when it gets hit, or it doesn't get hit. Maybe some sweat flying off. Judging fights, not an easy thing to do.
No, especially this type of style.
You really have to concentrate every second of each round as a judge.
To fight is scheduled for 8, John, so plenty of time. Nice overhand right that time by Lacey. Taking a look at the record of Roman Martinez, he comes in at 9-0, but he's really been inactive. Only 2 fights in 2004. Both wins, one by TKO over Celestino Rodriguez in Puerto Rico, then in Santa Ynez, California. His last fight, July of last year. So rather inactive for a guy his age, Roman Martinez. Round 1 of the books here in the ballroom. Welcome back to the ballroom. And boy, the fans here tonight, fantastic, a fantastic crowd. And if you're ever in the neighborhood, you're going to want to check out Ballroom Boxing. There is nothing like it anywhere in sports. Ballroom Boxing here at Michael's 8th Avenue. Total punch stats in round 1. Both fighters landing just 5 punches in round 1 here in this one. And Jon Saraceno, this is one of those fights like you talked about, and you hit it right on the nose early. Probably the first time you've been that accurate that early.
At least this year.
At least this year. At this fight, it's going to be a tough one to score if this keeps up.
Well, that's why we're here.
What, to score the fight?
Well, sort of. Give our uneducated, amateurish opinions.
And right now, I can tell you right now, fans here at Michael's like a good fight. And if this continues like this, you might hear some displeasure from the fans.
Yeah, these are hardcore boxing fans, and by that I mean they want to see guys rumble and throw down. They're not really into the jazz of boxing, or the more obscure it is, really the better it is if you're an aficionado of the pugilistic game. Would you care to translate what I just said?
Something about an aficionado, that's all I know. You lost me with that word.
I just dropped my thesaurus. Could you pick it up for me?
Right. Roman Martinez in the red trunks, Mario Lacey in the black trunks, and it has been a tactical battle so far. And I'll be honest with you, if this is the fighter of the year from Puerto Rico, hate to see who came in second. Here's an overhand right. And maybe we're selling him out a little too early here. Got a long way to go in this 8-round fight.
I hate to see who came in last.
Yeah. Certainly, Roman Martinez, you could see he's well schooled. But right now, this is a tight fight.
If you say so. No, it is. It is. Actually, this is the kind of fight where on television doesn't always translate because, really there's a lack of heavy punching. These guys are both skilled boxers, and they are not taking many chances. They're operating behind the jab. Good right hand there by Martinez. And also, Lacey, you said he's coming off a knockout loss, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So he's got one foot in the bucket here a little bit as he continues to backpedal. Maybe he's got to get a little confidence, a few rounds under him, maybe take a couple of whacks before he feels he can stand there and fight a little more aggressively.
Lacey, in his last fight, TKO'd in the 4th round by Carlos Diaz in Tampa, Florida. That was in November of 2004. And last time out, it was Roman Martinez taking on Johnny Walker. Many a man has taken on Johnny Walker. I want you to know that. But Martinez came out on top, winner by unanimous decision.
You are the best.
This round winding down here in the ballroom. Round 3 will be next. All right, welcome back to the ballroom. Action from round 2. Roman Martinez and Mario Lacey, one of the few flurries in the fight there, and that was about it. Can't wait to see the CompuBox stats.
And here they are.
Here we go.
Asking you shall receive, Karnak.
There you go. Lacey, 12%. Martinez, 17%. 13 total punches landed. And they've landed in 2 rounds, just 9 power shots combined. So Again, a tough one to score. Let's see how Jon Scheinman has it scored. John?
Larry, as soon as I figured out what Jon Saraceno was talking about last round, I scored it 19-19 after 2. First round to Lacey, second round to Martinez. Even though Martinez got going in that last round, I think he should have hopped on Lacey early, because when you're fighting a guy coming off a knockout loss, you want to make him think from the get-go, hey, it's going to happen again right now.
That didn't happen. Lacey, I don't know if you could say his confidence is building, but certainly doesn't seem intimidated at all.
Let's go.
And you could hear referee asking him, begging them to start some action up here. And you just got to wonder what's going through Roman Martinez's mind. He knows the record of Lacey, and yeah, okay, fine. He's been in against tough guys, but he's also been knocked out by a bunch of guys. Is he giving him too much respect?
Oh, I know something. I think Lacey is the stronger fighter physically. Now, whether he's able to use that effectively, I don't know. And that's how Martinez is kind of fighting him. But again, Roman Martinez, only 21 years old. And he's been fairly inactive the last year. So it's not really surprising to see him hesitate and maybe not let his punches go.
Pace is beginning to pick up just a little bit here in round 3. Both men beginning to pick it up a little bit.
And let's face it, neither of these guys are big punchers.
Nice right hand by Lacey off the forehead of Martinez.
Good combination there by Martinez. He's using his jab, his right hand, left hook to the body. Textbook punching. This fight is going to look like this the entire night. I mean, this clearly looks like a distance fight to be fought in the middle of the ring, right on that Everlast insignia.
Martinez beginning to press forward a little bit here. Pick up the pace. Blood coming from the mouth of Roman Martinez and going to the body of Lacey.
Good body punching by Lacey. Excuse me, Martinez.
It's a turning point in the fight right here, the end of round 3. Martinez pinning Lacey up against the ropes, posing his will on him. Ripping body shot by Martinez.
Well, Lacey should be out of there, Larry.
Round 4 coming up. All right, here we go. Let's take a replay. A look at a replay earlier here at round 3. This fight scheduled for 8. Martinez at the end of the round cornered Lacey and did some great body work. Let's see if that continues here in round 4.
And in a close fight and maybe a close round, why would you allow your opponent to do that to you?
Fatigue.
To sway, well,
fatigue.
Third round, you shouldn't be fatigued.
Shouldn't be, but he didn't have an answer for it.
How about moving out and boxing and getting away? I mean, I just don't think you can give away a round like that.
Let's go. 4th round.
Kenny Chevalier asking for more action.
And who's to argue?
Kenny's used to working.
Well, he's going to have an easy night tonight. Not a lot of clinches here, not a lot of dirty tactics. Ooh. Good head movement by Martinez as he's getting off those combination punches on the inside. Lacey tries to keep using that jab to fend him off, but Martinez going side to side, moving on the inside, landing good right hand there by Martinez. He's really starting to put his punches together nicely. Sometimes it takes a young fighter a round or 2 to get warmed up, shake off the nerves again.
You know, I think the momentum now has swung to Martinez, and Lacey's really not showing a whole lot of offense right now. There's a straight right hand that scores.
Let's see if Martinez comes back with a vengeance here, going back to the body.
Look how round 3 ended, did not continue here in round 4. Oh, down goes Lacey with the left hook. And boy, that was a nice tight left hook on the inside. I'm not sure Lacey's getting up. He's trying. Man, what guts. He is up at the count of 8.
That was one of the nicest, sharpest, shortest combinations we've ever seen here at the Ballroom. What a shot.
So Martinez comes right back with it again. Plenty of time here, and Lacey's head has not cleared yet.
No, he's fighting on pure instinct here. He should be holding if he can.
And the right shot right here is going to put him down and out.
Well, he's fighting back, which is important. Referee Chevalier looking closely, and Lacey looks like he shook out the cobwebs.
That was one of those perfect tight left hooks, man. It didn't travel far.
That was a beauty.
There's another one, and down he goes again. Similar punch.
No knockdown, ruled by the referee.
Crunching right hand by Martinez. Delivering some serious power shots here in the 4th round.
Another
Lacey down again. Closing seconds of this round, and he's going to escape.
6, 7. Hey, let me see gloves. Give me gloves.
Lacey's feeling the pain right now.
Well, Lacey's chin again betraying him.
And that's the end of the 5th round. Martinez puts Lacey down twice in round 4 here in the ballroom. Taking a look back at the action. Let's take a look at that tight inside left hook. There, right off the top of his head.
Yeah, and a lot of times that's where the equilibrium is, and you lose it when you get hit.
From a different angle here. I thought that was more of a solid shot. The right hand set him up. And he goes down, kind of got cuffed by that punch. Wasn't even a solid punch.
Was that the first knockdown right there, or the
That was the
latter
second
one? That
one.
was the second knockdown, right?
Yeah, the first one we saw wasn't really a solid shot either, but he got Lacey on that sweet spot. CompuBox stats in round 4. Martinez 28 of 72, 39%, and 20 of 38 power shots in round 4.
Well, he's really landing that right hand and scoring with the left hook.
And sometimes when a guy gets his equilibrium thrown off like that, it lingers.
Well, we had a very dull fight the first 6 minutes, and it's really turned into a bit of a blazer, at least for Roman Martinez.
To bring Jon Scheinman in quickly because this one could end quickly. What's your scorecard say, John?
Well, he blew it open there. I generously, for Lacey's side, gave it a 10-8, not a 10-7, but 39-36 after 4. Roman Martinez comfortably in control.
Let's see if he can close the deal here after rocking Lacey's world in the 4th. Just clubbing away with the right hand right now, almost exclusively with the right hand.
Overhand. He's using that right hand to his advantage. But Larry, he's really throwing everything. I mean, his body punching, his power shots, and he's been pretty good with the jab when he's wanted to use it.
We were a little hard on Martinez early because of the kind of lethargic nature of the fight, but he might have had a little ring rust, and it came off quickly. Oh, crunching right hand. Another picture-perfect shot, and Lacey is done for the night.
Good stoppage.
Kenny Chevalier calls a halt to it in round 5 as Roman Martinez runs his record to 10-0. The next big thing out of Puerto Rico, Roman Martinez showing good power with either hand here in this victory.
And they had to lift Lacey up off the canvas and onto his stool. The doctors in there very quickly. Very good medical commission here in Maryland addressing the fighter's needs. And I think he's going to be all right.
See him say he's okay.
Let's hope so.
And if you weren't a believer in Roman Martinez earlier or before, now you might be. There's that right hand, man. It just rips through the defense of Lacey, and Lacey crumbles.
Well, he looked like a totally different fighter, didn't he, Larry, in the second half of the fight?
Really did. Another look at it. The right hand scores. And down goes Lacey, and that's the end.
Yeah, he had enough at that point, and there was no doubt about it. Stoppage was necessary. And Roman Martinez out of Puerto Rico shows that he's got a lot of skill.
No doubt about that. Quick look at the CompuBox stats. CompuBox stats total through 5. You see Lacey stats and Martinez 28%, but the power shot started landing in round 4, continuing in round 5, and that's where the end occurred.
And Roman Martinez now 10-0-1. That was his 7th knockout.
Let's go to Pat.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. The winner by TKO at 135, of round 5, Roman Rocky Martinez.
Martinez, the winner tonight in the ballroom. Good-looking young prospect from Puerto Rico. We'll have more from Michaels 8th Avenue after a timeout. Roman Martinez, a very impressive winner tonight over Mario Lacey, a TKO in round 5. With the winner, Martinez, here's Jon Scheinman.
Roman, kind of a slow start in the first round. You see, not very many punches were landed in the first 2 rounds at all. Was it the ring rust from having been off since July?
Dije que el primer round que estaba muy lento es porque no peleaste de Julio, ¿eso por qué? ¿O porque entraste en los primeros 2 rounds bien lento?
No sé, entré un poco lento, a lo mejor fue porque, no sé, el tiempo sin pelear o entré un poquito frío, pero pude ir mejorando los asaltos hasta que pude acabarlo.
He said it was maybe because of the ring rust, because he haven't fought in a while, but he says that time comes on, it'll pick up again.
You were named Prospect of the Year in Puerto Rico. Is that a tough title to live up to, considering how many great fighters have come out of your island?
Te llamaron prospecto número 1 en Isla. ¿Tú crees que es un nombre fuerte para estar equipado con esos tiempos?
Bueno, gracias, me dieron un número 1 prospecto del año. Pues, y nada, muchas gracias y seguir hacia adelante.
He said they gave him the Prospect of the Year, and he says, thanks a lot for them to give him the Prospect of the Year. He said, let's just go forth and let's just keep doing this.
Well, they are going forward because they're 10-0, a spectacular 5th round knockout for Roman Martinez here in the ballroom. Let's go back to ringside.
All right, good job, Jon. We appreciate that. Coming up more from the ballroom here at Michaels 8th Avenue. Don't go away. Man, what an exciting night again tonight here at Michaels 8th Avenue. I don't think a single fan went home disappointed tonight, Jon.
Larry, that is the hallmark of this show, is club show boxing, grassroots boxing. We saw more of it tonight. I can't wait to come back.
Full house tonight. I hope you enjoyed the show. For Jon Scheinman and my partner, Jon Saraceno, I'm Larry Michael. We'll catch you next time for Ballroom Boxing.